part 2 of why I like certain cartoons. So I realized while uploading my part 1 video of this, I realized I talked a lot about Cartoon Network and not too much about Nickelodeon, which is why I'm making this video all about Nickelodeon. Plus, maybe some Cartoon Network in there, because I feel like I forgot some. Yeah, and I did forget some, because I just remembered. By the way, I don't have a script this time. So, while you're watching my amazing play basketball, I thought maybe you can just enjoy. You can just enjoy him and me being a show-off. So, Loud House. The Loud House. I really like this show. And I know some kids in my class, in my middle school, who say Loud House is the best show on Nickelodeon. One even said Loud House is the best show ever. I don't agree with that second claim, but I agree with that first one. So, why I like it? All the sisters, they have something unique about them. And Lincoln has 10 sisters, and all 10, plus Lincoln, are a good laugh to watch. Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom is a show about a boy named Danny and him being a ghost and saves the city of his town. So, Danny Phantom had this weird feeling to it where it had Danny Phantom, this kid, this high school kid, where he was just a man, and he was just some 16-year-old with parents that test out ghosts, and he became one. Plus, I really love that intro. I mean, you could not deny the intro. Also, Danny Phantom had a story. It never just ended with, we defeated this guy, but he says he's not done for now, and he said that he's going to do it in the next episode. Oh, we're just going to ignore him the next episode and show Danny Phantom playing with unicorns. No, that's not what happened. The story continued on and on. And you're probably wondering, why haven't I brought up Avatar if I'm talking about this? Or Legend of Korra? Well, the reason why is I hate them. Yes, I know that's weird. But I understand why people like them. And I'm glad they can like something that I can. So, also, Ren and Stimpy. This show is disgusting. By the way, I'm not talking about the adult party. I'm talking about original. It had this weird sense to it that it was comical, it was funny, it was laughable. My favorite episode was Ren Can't Sleep, where Ren asks Stimpy to help him fall asleep. It's just a really good episode, and it shows just really good detail. I looked it up on YouTube, but I can't find it now. I would tell you where to find it, but I can't find it. Codename Kids Next Door. I told you there was going to be some Cartoon Network in here. Cartoon Network is great. It's doing better than Nickelodeon. And to me, sometimes, I believe this show is why. Codename Kids Next Door is about these 5 kids, basically their own agency, as the Codename Kids Next Door. They fight these bad guys and get into all this trouble. And it's really, 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 really good. I found a bunch of them on YouTube, and I never stopped watching them. No, I never stopped watching them. I recently watched the episode Operation Beach. While it's not my favorite, it's one of my favorites. My favorite is Operation End. Because let's be honest, sometimes I could not trust number 274. And that's probably why. Rocko's Modern Life. Rocco's Modern Life is this show about a talking wallaby named Rocco living his modern life. And it's really, really fun. His friends are great. I keep forgetting that cow's name. Or is it a chicken? I don't know, but I remember Filbert, because Filbert is my favorite character along with Rocco. And it just had this feeling to it to be made for this show. Nickelodeon, I hate you, and I love you for making this show, but I hate you. Well, actually, I hate the splat, because I want to catch Rocco's Modern Life, but the earliest time you show it is at 11:59, and I get tired on Wednesdays, easily. I like to sleep early on those days, so put it at earlier times, Nick, or the splat, whatever it is. So put it at earlier times, or maybe cancel Boy Meets World. No one even cares. Next up is Invader Zim, or Invasion Zim. I keep getting Invader Zim. Yeah, I think it's Invader Zim. Yeah, it's Invader Zim. Invader Zim is what a lot of people on YouTube say is the greatest show of all time that Nickelodeon made. Personally, in my opinion, I don't think it's the greatest, but I see why people think it's the greatest. The atmosphere, the characters. My favorite episode is the parent-teacher conference night. Honestly, I cannot decide between what is my favorite Zim character, Zim show, my favorite Zim episode now, because I just watched the episode right after parent-teacher conference, because I actually had parent-teacher conference, and I watched that episode after, and it was great. So, Invader Zim is one of my favorites all time. It's not my favorite, and I just realized I just talked about my own opinion, which is why I'm going to slap myself into Cartoon Network section now. Steven Universe is a great show because of how great it is, the atmosphere, the characters, the storyline. It's basically about Steven and the Crystal Gems fighting crime along space and Earth. And it has beautiful designs. The artwork are actually put into. They at least have some creepy episodes within once in a while. For an example, the hospital, Frybo, and I know this might sound weird, but Ocean Gem. That creeped me out a bit because I did not know what lapis lazuli was. But it's just really good. The story is what really ices the cake in strawberry icing. It's just really good. And next up is Rugrats. I was thinking about putting this in the Guilty Pleasures video, but I felt like since I've seen other people talk about this show and they're grown-ups, I feel like I shouldn't be putting this in Guilty Pleasures because let's be honest, people love Rugrats no matter how old. Some neighbors I know, they love Rugrats. Their nephews loved Rugrats. Not the same neighbors that keep on making noise, but other neighbors. And Rugrats is a great show. It shows a creative mindset of a baby. Tommy is my favorite character now. Although when I first saw it, my favorite character was Chucky. Either way, I both like them the same way. And I'm glad I've never seen an episode of All Grown Up, because to me, I could not take Tommy seriously with that purple hair. First of all, I could not take his dad seriously with that purple hair. So I'm not going to be able to take Tommy seriously with that purple hair. I mean, at least his dad was kind of like a side character. But he's real. He's not fake. He's not a secondary character. He's like the main character of the show. finally, Harvey Beaks. I'm addicted to that intro of Harvey Beaks. That intro is just great. Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't the last because I have 2 more to go to. Actually 3. Actually 4. I have 4 more shows to talk about. Basically, Harvey Beaks is about a blue bird and his advent. Let me just take off the mute because Harvey Beaks is about a blue bird living his ordinary life in the forest with his friends Fee and Foo. They have many adventures, and so far my favorite episode of it has been the date. I don't want to explain why, because I'm planning to make a part 2 of more cartoons of some of my favorite cartoons' favorite episodes. So yeah. Up next we have the Amanda Show. If you watch all that, you probably know Amanda. But what you probably don't know is that Drake and Josh was in it. And oh my god. I think that's what kick-started Drake and Josh's career. And I think that's why Drake and Josh was a success. Because of this show. This show was funny. It wasn't boring. And it didn't have any bad cast members from all that. Speaking of Drake and Josh was possibly one of the best shows ever of Nickelodeon and that day of era. It was just perfect and great. I don't know, Nickelodeon finally found a way how to make a good sitcom. Well, one day at least knew how to make a good sitcom. Also, I have 2 more shows to talk about. Actually, 3 more. And with one of those 3 is All That. I was talking about All That in one of my videos. So, I thought I might as well talk about All That, the entire show, because I feel like it should be respected as an entire show. Same thing with SpongeBob. But All That was hilarious, funny, and it was great. And for SpongeBob, SpongeBob, it's just great about a sponge living in the sea, and it just has great topics. Well, decent topics. First of all, great topics was in seasons 1 to 3. Then the rest of the show is just okay topics. Kenan and Kel. This was my 2nd favorite show ever, growing up. With my first show being Ren and Stimpy. This show was great because it was awesome. It had really good characters, and honestly, it made Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell leaving All That for good. And it was actually kind of good because they went on to do Kenan and Kel, and look at them now. While Kel is doing horribly on Nickelodeon for Game Shakers, Kenan Thompson has went on the real SNL and has became a success. Meanwhile, Kel at least still has some style to him. It's just sad that Nickelodeon is wasting it. And for the final one, it's iCarly. Someone on the server said that iCarly's a girl show. I want to know, is it a girl show or is it a boys and girls show? It's a boys and girls show. It is a boys and girls show. That's what I think. And I'm pretty sure it is. Cassie. So iCarly is about girls, just teenager girls, just making videos on the web. And their web series is called iCarly. And this was a really great show and started something good for Nickelodeon sitcoms. With all that said, that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed. And look how accurate my scores was. Yeah, that's right. That's true. It's too bright. I'll see you soon.